Hey everybody, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android, and we're here with the G2, LG G2 that is, and we have a number of guides that we're doing showing you some different things here, but right now this one's going to be an overall walkthrough of the UI that LG has. It's very similar to their past phones, the Optimus G and the Optimus G Pro. Let's start off with the notification panel, which can be quite busy before you even get into your notifications. Over here at the top you have quick toggles that you can set for various things, just like Samsung phones. And you just basically slide across, and at the end here you can go in here and hit edit and move them around to the order that you'd like to see them in, and uncheck any that you do not want, and makes it a little simpler for you. So go back there, and the next one down is Q-Slide apps, which I get into in another video, but these are the apps that you're allowed to use multi-screen, so you can have smaller versions of the app. So for example, let me just go in here to browser. Basically, there's a lot of help screens that you'll also get there, as you can see, and I can pretty much check off to not see them again, but I haven't with this demo unit. So there's a example of a Q-Slide app moving around, and you can change the transparency and all that good stuff, but I have another video on that. Over here you can change the display. I have it down low because it's much better on video, but you can set it for auto, and then you have your volume control, and then you can also hit the settings there for volume and fine-tune some things. Your overall settings you can get to right here, and then you can go into your overall settings. And of course over here on the main screen you can also get into some settings here: home screen settings and lock screen settings and theme and add app and widgets, and as well as your overall system settings in the same area. Now the other thing I want to mention quickly before again the settings is slide aside. I have a video on that as well, but that allows you to, let's open up the browser right here. You can use 3 fingers to put any app into the slide aside, so you can call it up at another time. Here I'll do it with the calculator as well. Swipe it, and slide aside will show up in the notification area as well. Or you can have up to 3 apps in this. Slide it, and there you go. But I go over a little bit more about it in another video. Let's go into the settings, and under General, you want to make sure your slide aside is on, so you can do that. Now guest mode is another area that I have a video on, but this allows you to set up, it's kind of like LG's take on multi-user accounts, so you can set up a different pattern lock if you got to enable the pattern lock on your phone. And if you enable the pattern lock, you can set up a separate pattern for guest mode and set up exactly what apps that you would like on that. Going back to settings, if you go in the display under the lock screen, you can set up. So the settings are a little different in stock Android. There's no security. You go under display, and you go under lock screen to select your security. Right now that's set to swipe, but you can go in and set it up to pattern and pin. Again, guest mode only works with pattern. I'm not going through everything here in the UI, but there's a lot of different things. You'll see, like weather animations and stuff like that. As you can see in the settings, you do have the tabs here: General, Display, Sound, and Networks. So it makes it fairly easy to find the stuff you're looking for. In the sound, there's nothing really crazy there. Going back to display, you can go in here to front touch buttons, and you can set up, as you can see, you have the buttons are on the display. They're not hard buttons. It's not the stock Android experience because it's offering a menu key, but you can choose, which is pretty cool, different variations, including 4 button configurations. You're not going to get the task button, so you're always going to get the memo the menu button in each particular one, and some of them offer things like quick memo and stuff like that to quickly go into things. But you can play around with that for different custom. There's a lot of customization on this phone, and a lot of stuff that a lot of people are just not going to know that they're there. And smart screen and smart video. Smart screen is very similar to Samsung's. What they offer is if you're looking at your phone, and let's say you set your timeout for like say 30 seconds, but you're reading something, you don't have to worry about it timing out. It's going to use the front-facing camera to see if you're looking at it, and it will leave the screen on for a longer period. If you put the phone down, then it will go out in the 30 seconds or whatever you have it set to. Smart video is a similar thing, but for video, except the opposite way. Say you're watching a video, and if you look away, the video will automatically pause. I don't believe this works for YouTube. I think it only works for videos on the phone itself, videos that you've actually taken with the phone. So that's pretty much that area there. And then if we go into general, I already went over guest mode. You can set up various gestures here for different things that you can do during, like for example, during an incoming call, bring the phone to your ear to answer the call. So if you just lift it up to your ear, the phone will automatically answer. You don't have to swipe or press answer. There's different things, like for example, this is really cool, screen on and off, double tap to turn on the screen. This is important for this phone since the volume controls are in the back and the power button. If you have your phone resting on your desk, or if it's in a dock in your car, you're not going to be able to access the power button easily. So that double knock is important. So for example, let's just turn off the device, and what I can do is I can just tap it twice with my finger or whatever, and it turns it on. I don't know if it's really useful for other phones that have the power buttons on the side or the top, but for this particular phone it's really necessary because the power button is on the back. And you notice there's a lot of little tutorial things that pop up, and again, I just basically, because it's a demo unit, I'm not checking them, but you can check them to not show up again. But they are helpful. They can be quite annoying as well because they just keep popping up. They just constantly new ones. So right now I just haven't bothered with it. Now let's go into, this is something that was offered, it's been on past phones, is quick memo and memo. Quick memo basically takes a screenshot of whatever you're looking at. This is actually a screenshot of that home screen, and I can write on it. So actually, let's say that I want to write a phone number down. Let's just basically erase what I just wrote, and you can hit the eraser button. And then go to the pen, and let's just say I write a phone number down here, and I write that down, and what I can do is I can save it and then access it later. So I can go in here and hit the disk there and save it to my gallery or notebook and call it up later. In the notebook app, there is a notebook app. But let's just say, for example, once I do that, I call it up later. So somebody gives me a phone number, and without typing, I just write it down quickly. I can come in here and hit this and make it transparent. And I know it looks kind of funny because now it's back to my home screen. So what I can do is I can go into the dialer, and now a number is there, and I can actually go ahead and dial it from that written number. It's pretty cool, but in a sense, you're writing it and then typing it later. You could use a copy and paste, put it into a task app of some kind, a to-do app. It's kind of convenient, but it's not like earth-shattering fantastic or anything like that. So that's pretty much it, and then you just back out, and then I didn't save that. But when I go back in, since I didn't save it, that particular one should come up, and there it is. And in order to get rid of it, I think I have to save it and then delete it. So that's quick memo. Now there's also full-blown memo, where you can go in and type out things. So for example, right now this is, you can just type out words. The dog is brown, I misspelled it. I corrected it to Brian. So, but anyway, you can also make it so you're doing it like bullets by hitting that. You can also go in and bring in an image, take a photo, add audio, record voice, location, date, add the date and time, and draw. So if I want to draw, it just changes over here, and I just draw whatever. I can, of course, go with an eraser, do what I want there. I can change my pen types, colors, and all that good stuff. And then when I'm done, I've got that, and I've got the drawing and the lettering. I can go back to words again, and I can also change the color of the background if I want, and I can title it and save it. So go ahead and hit cancel there. Just to show you, if you go into these will save into your notebook. And let's just find the notebook here. There it is. So your notebook, you have your quick memos here, and I actually did a quick memo similar to that other one I just showed you earlier, and I just wrote a number down. So you can always come into an older one here and call it up and do whatever you want with it, and go back. And then you have some couple example ones here, and there's just nothing really great there. Just basically typed, just did a little writing and put my name in. So you can always call up any of your memos, and that's pretty much. I don't really find it that useful without having a stylus, so I don't really get into it. But I mean, I guess it's there. It's fine. Now, as far as icons, they offer you a lot of interesting things here. Again, a lot of people may not notice it. Just want to show you. This was on this feature here has been on the Optimus G and the G Pro. As far as folders go, it works just like stock Android. You just basically move your apps over on top of each other, and you now have a folder. But what's interesting is you can go ahead and type a folder name there, and you can also change the folder color. So I can go with blue, and I can call it whatever I want. And if I, whoops, I didn't mean to open the app. So now what's interesting also is I basically what I can do is, whoops, I did it wrong again. I can hold it down, and I can enlarge it, and it becomes like when you enlarge it, it stays open, and it actually becomes like a widget on the screen. So it's actually open and there like a widget. So it's kind of unique in that regard, and you can bring it right back down. The other thing you can do is with any of these apps. So let's just take, for example, this. Here's our VoiceMate, which is like S-Voice on Samsung phones. Is I'm going to take, of course, you can hold down and move apps around just like anything else. But if I hold it down, you see that little paintbrush there? I'm going to hold it down and just leave it there. I'm going to tap that, and when I tap that, I can actually enlarge it to a 2x2. Hit OK, and now that's an enlarged icon, which is pretty unique. And then I can also go back and I can bring it back to a 1x1, or leave it 2x2, and now I can go in, and the actual icon that's meant for that app is always over here, but you can choose various icons here already set up, letters and stuff. So let's just say I want to use V for voice, and I can hit OK, and it's now V. I can also use an image, one of my own images, a photo icon. So I've got it set up. I actually loaded up a photo here. Just went in quickly, and I can make it larger, make the icon larger if I want. I can say, okay, make it 2x2 here, hit OK, and then I had a picture of a birthday cake from my son just quickly, and there it is. So it's actually the same one. Just go through the process, and I can size it to whatever I want, hit OK, and it's going to save it. And there's again another help thing, and now that is the icon for VoiceMate. Again, it's easy to revert back. Hold down on it, hit the paintbrush, go back to theme icon, and what the actual icon again is always here at the top left. I just tap it, hit OK, and I'm back to normal. Now also you can do these folders within the app drawer as well. If you go into settings here, if you go in here, you can view apps by. You want to be under, sorry about that, didn't mean to tap the screen. View apps by, you want to be on user customized. You can also do it by download date or alphabetic order, but if you're on user customized, you can now take apps and go in here, and when you hit the settings thing, now you can move apps around. So let's just say, for example, I want to move the gallery here into email. I can go ahead and do that, and I've created a folder. But if I go into, take that out, and if I go into here, view apps by, and I go in alphabetical order, the folder is no longer going to be there. So, and it will take that away. Oh no, actually the folder is there. I apologize. What happens is you can't make folders. Like right now, if I want to make a folder, I did that wrong. Go in the settings, and if I want to move a folder, it won't let me do it unless I'm in the customize. It's telling me go into the customized. So the folders. So what you would want to do is create your folders, then you can change the view apps by. So I got a view apps by customized, and now I can move folders around. I can stick, I did it wrong again. I keep forgetting you have to hit this first, the settings gear thing. So now I can do it, and bingo, it's now in there, and then uncheck, and now that folder is there. So I can tap on that while I'm in the middle of my app drawer. So do that again. There it is. There's the folder. Done. Wallpapers is also, if you long press down, you can go into your widgets and add widgets. And wallpapers, you know, they offer the usual gallery, live wallpapers, and you can choose the built-in wallpapers there, but you can also do multi-photo wallpapers. There's basically, I already had selected some images, random images, like some picture of shrimp there in a bottle. And what happens is if I apply it, and I can do more, as you scroll through, the image will change back and forth, and you can add more images. So it's kind of like you're not really doing an image. In the past, they actually let you do a different image per screen, but in this, it's kind of like just it's not applying it to each screen. It's just depending on how you do it, it just flicks back and forth. So to get out of that, you long press again, and I can go in here and just select the regular wallpaper, and I'm done. I have it. I can also pinch my fingers together, and I have my home screens, and you can have, I believe, up to 7. You can add more home screens and set whichever one you want as the default home screen. Just by tapping the set to home screen and tapping which one you want, and that's pretty much it. Now let me just go quickly into the camera. The camera is pretty straightforward and easy to use. You have your video, and if it's a picture or video, and you can go back to your previous photos here, and hit the back key. And mode here is where you can select different things. You can have it in this particular format of icons, or you can have this kind of like scrolling thing like Samsung. With this, you get the descriptions of what they are, but as you learn them, you're going to find that this is much quicker. You can go right to it. Normal is always there, because normal is something that you'll use most of the time, so you can always hit normal. But you can see they have panorama, VR panorama, which is like photosphere, and then burst shot, taking a bunch of shots. Portrait is like beauty face for Samsung, beautiful face I think it's called. Dual camera, where you can take a picture with yourself and whoever else is in the picture with your rear camera, so use your front and rear camera. Time catch shot, this is where when you hit the shutter button, it'll grab a few images before that. So sometimes you hit it too late, but you're still able to grab some images. Intelligent auto is just another form of autofocus other than normal. And then you have your sports for fast moving and night. And there's your normal and shot and clear. This allows you to remove unwanted objects. Again, not a big fan of a lot of these things because you got to know that you want to do it. You got to choose shot and clear beforehand. You're not going to be able to remove people unless you use some special software. You know, so you got to know you're in a crowded area and you want to do that, and then you have to fool around with it all. I'm not going to get too much into it, but that's how that works. So go back here, and then you also have a lot of different settings that you can control. Brightness, so you can go in here and flick around with brightness. You can fool around with a focus for manual, face tracking, auto. Of course, you can work on your image size if you want. You can change that. You can set it, your ISO, your white balance. There's a lot of different settings here, and so for really cool for someone who knows a little bit more about just a little bit about photography, you can really fool around with some things here. So that's really cool. Of course, you got your geotagging, your shutter sound, volume key. This is pretty cool. Your capture, you can use the back volume key to capture, which isn't really any good when you're using the rear camera, but it's great if you're using the front-facing camera, so you can take a selfie of yourself. That works out really well. And you can also set it to zoom, which doesn't make much sense because that only works with the rear camera. If you put your finger in the back, you're going to cover the lens. It just doesn't make any sense. So leave it on capture there. And of course, there's a help as well that'll guide you through some things as well. A lot of different tutorials and help in this UI. Again, I'm not in love with this UI much at all, but at least you do get some help. It's very crowded. Like I don't like the. It's like Samsung in a sense where I like TouchWiz, where you've got the app drawer all the way to the right. It should be in the middle. Again, I like that they're using the touch, the controls, the buttons on the display, but then they're going with the menu button, which is not what stock Android is about. Not in love with that. Overall, I mean, it has a feel of TouchWiz with some other crap on it. Again, a lot of stuff that's just not useful. Some of it kind of is, but it's not anything spectacular. It's just another way of throwing out a bunch of features that that just seem cool when you show somebody, but you don't find that you really use them or don't care. So we put together some other videos as well showing you some stuff that's more in depth, like on the Q slide and the slide aside, the guest account, and the quick remote is another thing that's built in because there is an IR blaster on the rear of the device. I mean, on the front of the device, top, shall I say. And you can go into quick remote and you can have it in your notification area. This notification area is very busy, and you add your quick remote, it's even busier. So you can turn that off and on right there in your notification panel, and there is an app for it where you can set up different remote controls for up to 5 or 6 rooms in your house. Where is that? Right there. So works pretty good. It's pretty cool. Again, I have another video on that that'll show you a little bit more on how to set that up. But overall, that's pretty much it. That's the LG G2, and that's the UI. And again, there's a lot of different things on the device when you go into the settings. But I just want to give you a good, quick overview of some of the strong points of the UI to get you going if you just bought your G2. So I hope this helped. Look for some other guides from us, and thanks for watching. This is Rob Nazarian with Talk Android.